Now, I already know what you're thinking. Clark, you look like crap. And you'd be right. This is my 4th day being sick this week. I have a common cold and it's absolutely kicking my ass. And so I really needed something to comfort me because yesterday I pretty much didn't start gaming until 7 p.m. That's how sick I am. I have not even been playing that many games during this week because I just need to sleep, drink water, and, well, piss out everything that is currently in my body that I don't need at the moment. But what I definitely needed was this Wallace and Gromit movie. And honestly, just to sell you guys on, the public opinion of this movie, apparently it's doing very well. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 95% audience score. I think is absolutely massive. And there's actually one trope that I want to talk about before we talk about the movie itself, because I feel like it's somewhat important to have, because I've been seeing a lot of conversation, especially on Twitter, about villains. And especially in 2024, where it felt like it was the year of sympathetic villains or villains that aren't really villains, I feel like a lot of people have just missed villains just being bad or just doing something that they enjoy. And, well, the villain in this movie is a penguin that doesn't talk. And I think that he is a lot more captivating as a villain because his small little motions of him just doing this or just like waving, for example, is absolutely better than all of this crap that we've been seeing recently. And I have to talk about this movie because I actually was a Wallace and Gromit fan when I was younger. But the best thing about this movie that I feel like a lot more movies should be doing is that you don't need any information going into it in order to enjoy the movie that you are watching right now. Like, obviously, you can't really compare Wallace and Gromit to, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but to use that as an example, a lot of Marvel movies kind of dance around the fact where it's like, haha, you didn't watch these movies, so we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle some things that only a couple of people know. Well, everyone else is like, what are they talking about? What happened with Scarlet Witch and Vision? I thought they were having a spectacular relationship and they were gonna have kids someday. And then suddenly you watch Doctor Strange Multiverse and you're like, wait a minute, she's the bad guy now? Now, granted, that's a bit of an older example, but I haven't kept up with Marvel movies, so there you go. But let's stop talking about that because I have been obsessed with Rivals recently. Wallace and Gromit is a perfect movie that you can watch with anyone. It is a perfect family movie to where you can watch it with your grandma, you can watch it with your mom, you can watch it with your 5-year-old son or daughter. It's just one of those movies that just puts a smile on your face. And recently in just movie-going experience, it feels like the idea of the movie is more impressive than the movie itself. That's why movies like Sonic are able to do better than most of the other movies on the market right now, because Sonic is a movie that people that like Sonic actually want to go see. So if you're someone that likes Wallace and Gromit, you are definitely going to like this movie. Now, I don't really want to get into spoilers about this movie, but I want to talk about the general structure of the movie just because I feel like it just sets up everything perfectly. From the very first moment, you are getting hit with nostalgia, dude. And oh my god, my voice is completely dying right now. But yeah, dude, you just get hit with this nostalgia wave. And it's just, from the very beginning that you're watching the movie, you're already smiling. So what's going on is at the very first scene in the movie, you have a typical Wallace and Gromit interaction where it's Wallace waking up. He has all of his inventions in a very unique way of going from the bed to the breakfast table and then having his toast and jams, and while Gromit ends up having to figure out how to maneuver around these inventions, because not every single one of them is perfect. But Wallace actually creates the almost perfect invention, and his name is Norbot. And I'm just going to show you this clip in order to give you an idea of just how wholesome this character is.
Hey!
This is my latest invention, a smart gnome.
Hi, I'm your nifty odd-jobbing robot. Call me Norbot.
And that is essentially what this movie is centered around. It is centered around the character Norbot, to where originally Wallace created him because Gromit liked to spend a lot of time outside And so Wallace was like, I'm gonna build a machine for Gromit so that way he doesn't have to spend so much time outside in the garden so he can go do other things. And this is one thing that I absolutely love about this movie, because you have Wallace and Gromit teaching you about the good and bad uses of AI and technology, because Norbot is an AI machine. So he learns from people, he will, respond to voice-activated commands, so that way if you tell him, make the garden neat and tidy, he's just gonna go, neat and tidy, and then he goes around and makes the entire garden neat and tidy. And so as this movie progresses, Wallace gets the idea of, wait a minute, what if we were to make a gnome gardening business? So now essentially one of Gromit's good pastimes, he doesn't even get to even have the idea of even doing it for anybody else, which really isn't that important to the plot. But I just feel like, the themes of AI and technology, I feel like are done super well in this movie. And then there's the other side of it to where you have this new upcoming copper that is trying to do a good job. She's new on the scene, and there's the classic, police chief that is on his way to retirement. The police chief is only talking about one thing, and it is the blue diamond. Why does the blue diamond matter? Because in this movie, you have the best villain that you could ask for. It's a penguin. Yeah, it's a penguin, and I'm just gonna sell you on this character right now with this scene right here. I don't need to show you that much about it, but yeah, it's a penguin petting a baby seal, almost like a villain petting a cat as he's waiting for his escape. So it's just like one of those things to where this movie just does everything right, and I couldn't help myself but smile throughout the entirety of it. And I just can't remember the last time a movie really made me feel this way. So it's just one of those things, so I feel like I just had to share this with you. I really don't know if I can talk more about this without spoiling anything, but I'm just gonna say that everything is done in a very spectacular way, and there are a couple of moments where I'm like, oh god, wait, they're gonna do this again. They're gonna repeat this thing that they did earlier, because it's gonna come full circle, to where even if you do see what's going to be happening before the moment actually happens, you're still just like, yep, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted from this movie, and that's the reason why I believe it has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 95 on the audience review, because this movie just does everything that you want from a movie. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes, which is insane to think about nowadays. What, you don't have a 2-hour part movie that's gonna have a part 2 that's gonna come out and absolutely fail, even though nobody wanted a part 2. Joker, by the way. But yeah, it's just, I had to rave about this movie, and I also wanted to make this video in order to tell you guys that I am currently going to be changing my stream schedule. Now, granted, this was before I got sick, and I have a lot of different plans in mind, because I literally got myself a new CPU that I have yet to install because I have to update my BIOS, apparently. But once I have that updated, I'm going to be playing Marvel Rivals a lot more efficiently, and I'm still going to be streaming Hearthstone. But I gotta be honest, man, until the mini set comes out, I'm just really not that interested in playing the game at the moment. The most interesting deck that I can find right now that I maybe would want to play would be Cutlass Rogue. So that's about where I'm at right now with interesting decks at Hearthstone. There's really nothing interesting to me. There's people talking about like this new Pain Aggro Priest. Don't tell me to play that deck. Oh my god, don't tell me to play that deck. Are you kidding me? That's the best that we can do is Aggro Pain Priest? Hell no, I'm not interested in that. So I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals recently, and this is my current rank in the game. I've actually gotten up to gold mainly through solo queuing, playing Cloak and Dagger, and recently I've been enjoying the hell out of Loki. Oh my god, do I love me some Loki. But yeah, I'm playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. I'm gonna be streaming a lot more of it once I get over this sickness, and I am gonna still be like making Hearthstone content, but you guys gotta realize that just like, I really believe until rotation happens, there's just not a lot that's going to be, saving the game. But I'm essentially going to be changing my stream schedule to where 4 days a week, I am going to be streaming 10 to 12 hours, so that way I can use the remainder of the 3 days in order to edit, send my clips over to my editors in order to make sure that there's content that's going to be rolling out every single day. I really do apologize that there hasn't been daily content on this channel, especially during this new year. I do have one video that I'm working on called Hearthstone in 2025. But if my voice sounds like this, it's kind of hard to do a voiceover without having my voice absolutely crack, because it may seem like this has been a smooth, a smooth recording, but there's been a lot of jump cuts because my voice just kind of cracks or something like that. So yeah, I'll be posting a lot more updates on the Discord. I just really wanted to put this video out here in order to let you guys know that no, I'm not dead. I am just currently dying from just a common cold, you know? It's nothing crazy. I already tested for COVID. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get over this in the next couple of days to where I can start streaming again, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm having a blast with Marvel Rivals, and I really want to share it with you guys. But yep, to wrap up this movie, Wallace and Gromit is a fantastic movie. 100% would recommend it, and it's just a fantastic movie in every single aspect. I could not think of one negative thing about this movie whatsoever. So thank you very much for making it to the end of this not really deck intro, and we'll see you for the next video.